A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Every year, the 11th of April is regarded as World Parkinson's Disease Day throughout the world. And this is our small effort by means of this video to raise awareness about Parkinson's disease and what these patients go through. So Parkinson's disease is one of the fastest growing and most prevalent neurological conditions affecting more than 10 million people worldwide. In days of the past, it used to be referred to as the shaking disease or the shaking palsy, meaning it came from the tremors that these patients used to have, and because of that it was called shaking palsy. It is therefore a movement disorder. Now, Parkinson's disease usually occurs in adults more than 60 years of age, but anybody can get it regardless of their gender, ethnicity or location, and in some circumstances even young individuals can get it. Like I said, it is the fastest growing brain disease. The number of people with Parkinson's disease doubled to over 6 million in 2015, and it is expected to double again to over 12 million by the year 2040. Increased lifespan and longevity and increased industrializations are part of the explanation for this rise in this disorder. These patients usually present with slowness of movements. Their usual pace with walking, writing and doing other daily activities usually slows down. They usually develop tremor of their hands, and these are usually at rest, and these tremors will resemble someone who is having like a pill rolling in their hands, in their fingers. Their bodies tend to become stiff and rigid and lose flexibility over their joints. Due to these symptoms, these patients frequently fall down and injure themselves. It is not uncommon for these patients to also have head injuries. While these are the main movement-related symptoms that these patients have, these patients also have a myriad of other non-motor symptoms like poor sleep, depression, constipation, loss of smell and weight loss that also affects their quality of life. These other symptoms that I'm talking about are usually not visible to other people, but are also one of the main causes of morbidity in such patients. These symptoms are usually attributed to normal process of aging, but this is a misconception. This is a disease like any other, and it has a biologic basis. This disease occurs as a result of a lack of a chemical in the brain, which we call dopamine. This chemical in the brain is responsible for a lot of pathways in the brain that are responsible for motor activities. And when this chemical is lost, motor movements become slow. The main causes are mainly genetic, but even environmental toxins are attributed to it. Now, Parkinson's disease is still not curable. However, a large number of these patients can be treated well with modern medication. We treat mainly by replenishing the dopamine that has been lost in these patients in their brains. So most of the treatments, for example, levodopa, is geared towards replenishing that lost hormone or chemical in their brain. But among the most important treatments for these patients is to continue being physically active, to continue doing physiotherapy, and to continue with exercise, as this retards the progression of the slowing that eventually occurs among these patients. One of the main objectives we have is to raise awareness about this condition. We know that the number of such patients is expected to rise over the next decade or so. We should be supportive towards them. Many of these patients are victims of stigma. They are sometimes taken to be intoxicated or under the influence of certain drugs because they behave clumsily. We are impatient towards them many times. However, we need to learn more tolerance towards them and more supportive towards this condition. For this occasion, our message out there is share your spark and help end Parkinson's disease. Asante sana.